Yo, what up? What up? What up? It's King Blake back again. More content for the head top. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the Blake check. Listen, we about to do something a little different today, a little different than we normally do it because I want to react. I want to react to this Meg Thee Stallion sit down with Gayle King, right? So Sunday, which was yesterday, we got a little preview online showing that they were going to do the sit down for this interview today. And of course, this has been one of the most controversial trials of this hip hop culture century, right? And it's a lot of opinions. A lot of people rush to judgment. A lot of people are pick sides. A lot of people are, interested and invested in, whoever they sided with coming out on top, right? That's basically what we are. Now we're in a position where a lot of people are just jockeying to be on top. Everybody want to be the right one. Everybody want to be the one to say, "Oh, see, I told you I was right." So you got people who's on Team Meg who feel like she's a victim, you know, and Tory did it. And then you have people on Team Tory who are saying he never did it. Some people don't even think she's been shot. There's some who think Kelsey did it, based on gunshot residue and all of the preliminary things that we've heard going on in the courts, right? So people have started to pick sides. So there's a lot of people that are very invested in making sure that the person that they believe in come out on top. So, Tory a few months back had an outburst where he went on Twitter and was like, "Good D is the reason why I'm in this situation because I was effing two friends." Okay, cool. Then you have Meg, who I guess you could say she had her team let the courts know what's going on. If the courts wasn't already observing, and they reinforced their gag order, raised his bail. So there's a lot of people who's gonna feel like, "Oh, she silenced Tory, but she's out here doing her thing." Let me just say, this is not a new thing. This is not the first time we've seen a victim do a sit down interview while the trial hasn't even started or while the whole process is playing out. This is not a new thing. That's just how it goes sometimes. Like, as the victim, you don't get the gag orders and things like that unless it's like a really sensitive case, which this is, but she doesn't have that on her. She's the victim. And as the perp and the one that people were looking at as possibly the perpetrator, the one who did the crime to her, he's been silenced. It sucks, but eventually he'll have his time to speak and he'll have his time to rebut. And I'm sure he's going to probably try to find his way to respond to some of this. But we got clips of the interview out today. So I want to go through this and, let's just break it down and see what we think about this. All right. So let's pull this up here. This is her speaking on it.
Or shoot any of us. So I just said I stepped on glass because I didn't.
Why did you say that? Why didn't you say you shot me?
I didn't. For some reason, I was just trying to protect all of us because I didn't want them to kill us. Like even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. Like I didn't want to see anybody die. I didn't want them to kill any of us or shoot any of us. So I just said I stepped on glass because I didn't.
Why did you say that? Why didn't you say? Why didn't you say shot me?
I didn't. For some reason, I was just trying to protect all of us because I didn't want them to kill us. Like even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. Like I didn't want to see anybody die. I didn't want them.
All right. So that's the first clip. That's pretty consistent with what she had been saying. She had been saying from the beginning, uh, when she first went on live, I didn't want the cops to shoot us. So she's explaining, pretty much speaking to her state of mind when she initially wasn't cooperating, right? Um, she initially was saying that she wanted to protect everybody involved in the situation. Now, where I think things devolved at was because Toy was initially charged with carrying a concealed weapon. When he started doing things in her perception that made it seem like he was trying to act like he didn't do it, or he don't know nothing about what happened, she got upset and decided to cooperate, and then that's when they filed the charges that he has now for shooting her. So, this was just her, I guess, her explanation as to why she initially lied, didn't cooperate with the police, and that's where a lot, and people have discredited her for it, and understandably so. So, you say things like that, there's going to be people who look at you with a side eye, because there's a lot of people that don't believe women in these situations. And that's where the whole glass in her foot thing came from. But as it goes on, you're going to see it was never glass in her foot. So let's continue this. And here we go.
Detained by CBS News. Kelsey Harris, the other woman in the car, texted Megan's security guard saying, "Help, Tory shot Meg."
I really thought that we were all friends. And it's sometimes I feel like I put the blame on myself because when my mom passed, I just felt like I was looking for some type of family environment, and I was letting so many people in, and I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to feel like I got family and I got people that care about me. And
Yeah.
what else? What happened?
In text messages obtained by CBS News, Kelsey Harris, the other woman in the car, texted Megan's security guard saying, "Help, Tory shot Meg."
Okay, so this part was also interesting as well, because she's always from the beginning been so strongly, um, so strongly in her stance that it was Tory, it was Tory, it was Tory. So allegedly there was four people in the car. It was Tory's bodyguard, Meg, Tory, Kelsey Nicole, which happened to be her best friend, and the person that is reported to have also been dealing with Tory, which is what this whole big thing, this whole big fight turned into, about Meg messing with Tory at the same time that Kelsey was dealing with her, with him. So a lot of people always say, "Oh, what happened was this was the narrative, right?" This is the narrative that a lot of people have tried to run with. The narrative people have tried to run with is what happened was Tory was messing with the both of them, and when Kelsey found out, she and Meg got into it, and she pulled out the gun and shot Meg, right? Because why would he shoot her? He was screwing two girls. He's the winner in this situation. What he got to be mad about? What he got to lose? Why would he do that? Why would he trip out? That's what I've heard from people, right? So now with these text messages, and I could pull it up, but I'm not doing all that digging right now. When the initial situation came out with TMZ footage, when they pulled them out the car, you could see Kelsey is a few feet away from Megan when they had them lined up on the sidewalk. And she turns and looks at Megan and asks her, "Meg, you okay?" So to me, that stood out because, of course, everybody thinks differently. People do things differently than others. But me personally, if I shoot you, I'm not going to sit there and be like, "Yo, you all right?" Especially in front of the police, because what if you respond like, "No, I ain't all right, you just shot me." So my thinking was always, that's interesting, that if she is the one who pulled the trigger, why would she ask that? Now you got her texting Meg's bodyguard telling him, "Help, Tory shot Meg." And I think Kelsey is the most integral part of this whole case, right? She needs to be called in to testify or to speak to it, because you have to wonder and say to yourself, like, what is she not coming forward with? Like, what is she holding back on? Like, why is it not being, you know, why is her side of the story not being told? Why has she not been subpoenaed? And I think she might end up being subpoenaed. See, it's interesting the turn of events that's come about, because she has recently been she's recently gotten pregnant. So she's pregnant now. So if the prosecutors decided, okay, you know what? Tory's team, they whole narrative that they're insinuating is that this girl might have been the one to do it, right? So now what if they decide to go to her and say, we're gonna subpoena you, and if you don't cooperate, we're gonna press charges on you. She's pregnant. You think she's gonna roll? You either that or she gonna have to reveal maybe she took a little money to keep it hush. Who knows? Who knows? But it's something real suspicious about her whole involvement in this, and her silence is crazy, because her silence is letting you know, like, something happened that she don't want to speak on. And I'll put it to you like this: if I'm friends with somebody and they do something and we fall out, all right, cool. But to watch them go through all of this, dealing with all of this back and forth, and you just staying silent, it makes you question, like, was she really ever a real friend like that? Because even if I'm mad at you, I might not fuck with you, but I'm not gonna let you get drugged like this, especially if I know you got shot. I'm gonna step up, say my piece, and then I'm gonna be like, nah, I still don't rock with you. But I'm gonna say what I had to say, just so that way the truth is out there, because you deserve to, you know what I'm saying? You deserve to have that. Even if I don't rock with you, I'm gonna still put it out there and say, this is what happened. So, all right, let's continue.
We were really close. We were friends. We hung out like every day. And his mom passed too. So when I felt like we were bonding over that. And
Did you have an interest?
That's called trauma bonding, by the way. That's called trauma bonding. She lost her mother. He lost his mother. He did speak a lot about how he's lost his mom in a lot of his music. So that's what they call trauma bonding. She lost her mom. He lost his mom. They got close. You know what I'm saying? Just want to drop that out there. Yeah.
My relationship with him?
like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan? Did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
Um, I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
Cap. I'm calling cap. I don't listen. I understand we don't know these people. We don't know celebrities like that. We can't say, for sure what's what with their relationship. But if you a Megan supporter, you kind of looking at that right there a little sideways, like, so y'all you want your Bill Clinton? You had no sexual relations? You had nothing like that. All right, Meg, if you say so, but you know who you dealing with. Tory, the type of dude, he gonna leak a sex tape, or he gonna put something out there if he can to expose you capping. But I ain't really buying into that part. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she's trying to pick at him, or what I'm saying, I don't know what her incentive is besides the fact that she just I don't believe it. I think she lying about that. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless.
So why do you think dating? What was the nature?
We were not dating. We were really close. We were friends. We hung out like every day. And his mom passed too. So when I felt like we were bonding over that. And
Did you have an intimate relationship with him?
like sexual?
Yeah. Like sexual?
Did you, Megan?
Did you like sexual? Like, you know what I mean? Come on. All right. Let's go to the next clip and see what. So this here is the statement from the DA, right? This is from the DA saying that we believe The evidence substantially supports the charges and allegations, and that evidence will be borne out in court. So this is pretty much them saying, listen, we see all of this posturing that's going on. People over here trying to act like they on this side or that side with all of the little bits of preliminary evidence that came out, things that Tory's team has done to try to get the case thrown out, whether it's the gunshot residue, even though uh, I've seen, experts testify saying that gunshot residue doesn't necessarily always end up on the hands of the shooter. That's something that I would just like to note. But a lot of people have taken it to be like, oh, that must mean that he didn't do it. That must mean that Kelsey did it. And, like they're saying, they believe the evidence substantially supports the charges. So they're saying, like, listen, it's a reason we ain't charged Kelsey, because we have such an amount of evidence besides just her saying whatever she said that we think that he did it. So that's the situation, man. I think that's all of the clips or whatever. So interesting to see how this thing continues to play out. I understand there's a lot of people who's going to point to the fact that it's not fair that she's able to speak out and, share her side of the story while he's not. This is the court system that we have in America, where the victim is free to speak a lot of times, and the person that's the perpetrator, sometimes you get bound with those gag orders, but you will have your day in court, and that's what Tory has to do. Tory just got to be patient. Don't do nothing crazy. Maybe the whole sexual relationship thing was her baiting him to do something else that's gonna get him, uh, arrested and make him violate his bail conditions. But September's right around the corner. It's going to be a nice summer, and then after that, they're going to turn it up in court. So we'll see. Me personally, I'll continue to try to remain biased. See, it's hard to remain biased in this situation because there's a lot of people saying, because of this, that means he didn't do it. All I've ever maintained from the beginning is that, listen, let all of the evidence come out and we'll figure out what's going on. And, once all the evidence is out, let's rush to judgment, pick your side, guilty, not guilty, whatever it goes. But until then, I'm just going to be patiently waiting and watching how this thing plays out, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is King Blake. Once again, this is the Blake Check. More content coming. I kind of like this setup. I might do this a little bit more often. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Breaking it down. I'm out of here. It's food for thought. Y'all do the dishes. Almost forgot.